Saudi Arabia, the birthplace of civilization and the land of an unforgettable wealth of oil, is poised to become the cradle of a whole new modern civilization packed with next-gen tech. Some of you might have heard about their ultra-futuristic urban project, The Line, but for those who haven't, and even for those who have, trust us, it's way more than just construction and shiny buildings. The Line is like the master blueprint of tomorrow's cities, the kind you might expect in a sci-fi flick. It's all about creating a place where you can fully enjoy life, not just live it. Picture skyscrapers not just filled with people living and working, but actually combining apartments, offices and shops all together in a virtual neighborhood. So, whether you're just hearing about The Line or you've been keeping tabs on it, stick with us. As in today's video, we are going to give you a visit to this futuristic city to know everything about what it would look like to live in such a place and what sort of amenities are going to be there. We will also update you about the construction progress and what has been done till now. So watch the video until the end, and if you are new to the channel, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you won't miss any future videos we upload. Getting back to the video, the idea of this city that stretches straight out, not spreading in all directions like a splat of paint, sounds something out of a sci-fi movie or maybe an architect's dream. But it has its roots back in 1882. Well, back in 1882, a Spanish urban planner named Arturo Soria had this wild idea about a linear city. He thought trams were the coolest thing since sliced bread, and he wanted to design a city around them. He got to put a little bit of his idea to work in Madrid, but he couldn't convince others to see the bigger picture. Then, fast forward to the 1950s, and this French architect, Johann Friedman, came up with a plan for a spatial city. This thing was all about going vertical to beat the spread of city sprawl. But just like Soria, Friedman couldn't get his idea off the ground, and it stayed a neat concept and not much more. But here's where it gets crazy. In January 2021, Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman spilled the beans on The Line. So this project is no longer a dream. The work has already been started, and they've already started moving dirt around. They're planning to have the whole first phase wrapped up by 2030, which is breathing new life into those old dreams. The architecture of Line City has been kept quite under wraps. Now it seems everyone involved had to promise to keep the project details confidential, so there's no official info on the web. But rumours and leaks, we've got plenty. Word on the street is that some renowned architects are involved in the design. We're talking big names like David Adjaye, Ben Val Burkle from UN Studios, Massimiliano Fuksas, the team at the late Zaha Hadid's London office, Rem Koolhaas, folks from the Laboratory for Visionary Architecture, Lava, and Delugan Messel and Wolf D. Pree from Co-op Himalbau. Sounds pretty impressive, right? And when such big names have gathered together to design something, then the result is also much more impressive. According to the design, the line will be made up of connected communities or modules. Picture this, the whole city consists of 135 modules, each one about 800 meters long and 500 meters high. Here's a little insight on the progress. Over at Module 43, they've driven in more than 4,500 piles so far. That's quite the workload, with up to 60 piles being driven per day. And soon, they're planning to shift the work to Modules 45, 46 and 47 near the marina. Every week, they're removing roughly 1 million cubic meters of earth from the marina construction site. Once completed, the line's going to be a whopping 170 kilometers long. That's about 110 miles. The cool part is that they're planning to leave 95% of its natural environment intact. Picture a line stretching from the coast of the Red Sea all the way up to Tabuk. Now let's talk people. They're expecting 9 million people to call the line home. That averages out to around 260,000 people per square kilometre. Just for comparison, Manila, the city with the highest population density in 2020, had a destiny of 44,000 people per kilometre squared. So you can see the accommodation of people per square kilometre of this city is just insane that we can't imagine in normal cities. That's going to be a big plus point, especially in the future when the population gets more increasing and we have fewer spaces to accommodate more and more people. In this regard, Line City will be the example to look at for future projects. Apart from that, the city's planned to be around 200 meters wide and 500 meters tall. And get this, it'll feature 2 mirrored structures side by side, with some outdoor space in the middle. Here's the green part: the line is expected to run entirely on renewable energy once it's up and running. Of course, constructing it will cause some greenhouse gas emissions, but once it's complete, it should be quite eco-friendly. They've given a ton of thought to how to make the most of the natural environment. They've planned it so there's a great mix of sun, shade, and natural breezes to create these awesome little microclimates. And if you're lucky enough to live or work here, or even just visit, you'll get to enjoy all the comfort that brings. Plus, you'll have tons of green, open spaces to chill in. The whole line structure would consist of 3 layers. The top one for pedestrians, the next one underground for infrastructure, and the third underground layer for transportation. And the best part? No roads, no cars, no pollution. And about 95% of the land would be kept as natural areas. They're taking a different approach here, focusing more on the health and well-being of the people rather than just transportation and infrastructure. And remember, it's all high-tech. Residents will actually be compensated for contributing data to the line. An AI system will monitor all this using predictive and statistical models to make the city even better for the folks living there. Okay, now for the big question. What's all this gonna cost? Well, it ain't gonna be cheap. Estimates are floating between $100 and $200 billion for the whole construction of the city. Some speculations are even saying it could touch the big T, $1 trillion. But hey, the Saudi government isn't sweating. They think it's a worthwhile investment. They're seeing this as a job machine, forecasting it'll create around 460,000 jobs. Plus, they're expecting it to give their GDP a nice little boost of about $48 billion by 2030. Big dreams, right? And for big dreams, you have to sacrifice much. After all, if you don't dream big, then what's the point? Overall, the Line project is a much more ambitious one. There are many things that get a bit tricky though. Many architecture and urban planners aren't so sure about all plan feasibility and are afraid that most of them won't work. For instance, the 3D visuals we've seen aren't your standard architectural images. In fact, they look like something from a video game. Plus, the more disturbing thing is that they have included many advanced technologies and gadgets in the plans that don't even exist yet. So there is no guarantee that they would be invented till then by someone else, as the project doesn't have any planning for providing those high-tech gadgets. This isn't just about fancy renderings. Some big parts of the project, especially when it comes to energy and transportation, are based on tech that hasn't even reached the prototype stage yet. So yeah, that's a bit of a head-scratcher. Last but not least, the Line is no doubt an awe-inspiring concept. A city where everything you need is a stroll away, where nature thrives and where advanced technology enhances the quality of life. It's also clear that turning this dream into reality won't be a cakewalk. It will require an immense amount of innovation, resources, and perhaps most importantly, time. And yet, despite these challenges, there's something undeniably captivating about the Line. The vision of a city that breaks free from traditional models and dares to imagine a different kind of future. A future where cities are designed around people, not cars, and where technology serves to improve the quality of life, not just speed up the pace of it. In the end, whether the Line succeeds or not, one thing is certain. It's a bold step towards reimagining what our cities could be, and it's a journey worth watching closely. And that wraps up today's video. We really hope you found it informative and learned something new. If you have any questions, feel free to share them in the comments section below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon if you haven't already, so you never miss out on our daily informative videos. Thanks so much for tuning in, and best of luck!